Ruda, the iron-fisted ruler of Guerillist, stood at the helm of a formidable military force that had long been the dominant presence on the continent. With 10 legions under his command, totaling a staggering 400,000 troops, Ruda had cemented his reputation as a conqueror whose legions had successfully subdued nations far and wide. His rule had been marked by the ruthless suppression of dissent and the swift quashing of any opposition to his authoritarian regime. In response to the direct threat posed by the armies of Tajera and Wolfia at the border, Ruda dispatched 6 legions to confront the invaders, confident in the overwhelming might of his forces. These legions, comprised of battle-hardened warriors trained in the art of war, were tasked with repelling the enemy advance and safeguarding Guerillist territory at all costs. Meanwhile, the remaining 4 legions were entrusted with the critical task of defending the capital city of Hunxi. As the seat of Ruda's power and the heart of the Guerillist empire, Hunxi held immense strategic importance, and its protection was paramount to maintaining Ruda's grip on power. However, Ruda's carefully laid plans were thrown into disarray by the sudden betrayal of certain generals within the ranks of 3 legions. These once loyal commanders, disillusioned with Ruda's oppressive rule and swayed by promises of a better future under Kodo's leadership, had turned against their former master. Leaving only a single loyal legion at Ruda's disposal, the loss of these 3 legions dealt a severe blow to Ruda's military strength, leaving him with a drastically reduced force to defend Hunxi against the looming threat of the resistance. With more than half of his forces preoccupied with quelling the surging protests that had erupted across Guerillist, Ruda found himself facing a dire situation with limited resources at his disposal. Despite the betrayal of certain generals, the loyal legion remained steadfast in their allegiance to Ruda, their unwavering loyalty bolstered by years of indoctrination and conditioning. Comprised of battle-hardened soldiers hardened by years of conflict, these troops represented the last line of defense for Ruda and the Guerillist regime. With approximately 20,000 soldiers remaining in his loyal legion, Ruda possessed a formidable force capable of mounting a fierce defense against the advancing forces of the resistance. These soldiers, veterans of countless battles, possessed a level of combat prowess and tactical proficiency that far surpassed that of the resistance fighters. For Kodo, the leader of the resistance, the challenge posed by Ruda's loyalist soldiers was not to be underestimated. Unlike the civilian volunteers who made up the bulk of the resistance forces, Ruda's soldiers were seasoned warriors with years of experience on the battlefield. Their disciplined ranks and unwavering resolve presented a formidable obstacle to the resistance's efforts to overthrow Ruda's regime. Yet, Kodo had anticipated the strength of Ruda's loyalist soldiers and had formulated a meticulously crafted plan to overcome this formidable opposition. Drawing on his extensive knowledge of military strategy and tactics, Kodo had devised a series of precise maneuvers designed to exploit the weaknesses within Ruda's forces and turn the tide of battle in favor of the resistance. As the conflict between the resistance and the Guerillist regime reached its climax, the stage was set for a showdown of epic proportions. With Ruda's loyalist soldiers standing as the final barrier between Kodo and victory, the fate of Guerillist hung in the balance, poised on the brink of a historic turning point that would shape the future of the continent for generations to come.